selection of fragrances here that I'm going to share with you, and these fragrances are going to be perfumes that I enjoy wearing when the weather is extremely cold and when it's icy, when the snow is falling. These fragrances are my go-to perfumes, so I'm going to share those with you. And I would love to know, what do you enjoy wearing when the weather's really cold? Do you tend to go for fragrances that are warm and spicy to warm you up, or do you like fragrances that actually match the season? So maybe something that's a bit more cool and cold, maybe a little bit aquatic. I would love to know which fragrances you enjoy wearing when it's snowing outside. If you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. I'm Charlene, and on this channel I like to talk about fragrances, fashion and lifestyle. I would love it so much if you would subscribe to my channel if you are new, and for those of you who are returning, I wanted to welcome you and thank you so much for being a part of my beautiful darling family. For me, I like to wear fragrances that sort of match the season, so I want something that is elegant, cozy, maybe some amber notes, vanilla, sometimes something a little bit spicy as well. But I tend to not wear too many florals in the winter. I might tend to wear a bit more rose, patchouli, so some earthy notes as well. So that's kind of like my style. So let's get into this video. So the first fragrance I'm going to start off with is a fragrance that I find to be ultra feminine, and to me it's a fragrance that I enjoy wearing when the weather is extremely cool. I never have a chance to wear this fragrance enough. I wish I could wear it more. And this fragrance is my Woman in Gold by Kilian. And I discovered this fragrance about just over a year ago, and when I first tried this fragrance I got like a whiff of aldehydes, some floral notes, maybe some citrus in the opening as well. And this is a fragrance that to me it has sort of like a sparkling fizzy note. It reminds me a little bit of sherbet, ever so slightly. It's like a very fizzy note. When you smell it from the lid you detect this like fizzy note. It's very elegant, it's something that makes a statement. This is very dressy. This isn't your fragrance that you would wear doing like everyday tasks or everyday errands. It's not that sort of fragrance. This is something you would wear dressed up, going out. But in saying that, there is something about this fragrance that I find to be very pleasant, warming and elegant at the same time. So when the weather's like this, when it's cold, I find this very warming. And some of the notes in here, let's just, oh wow, it's so pretty. It is fairly sweet. So I have the notes written here, and you have bergamot, mandarin, orange, and like I said you have aldehydes in here, but you do get that vanilla and the rose, definitely geranium, and then there's patchouli and tonka in this as well. Lots of vanilla, the citruses in here as well. But to me I find this very warming. So if I was going somewhere that was very sophisticated, if I was going to an event during this season, then this is something I would wear. There's something cozy about this perfume as well that I just like to wear during the colder months. And you know, you think of the snow, you think of pine trees, and it's just quite elegant. It's a beautiful woman's fragrance, and this perfume lingers on the skin for about 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours. The longevity on this fragrance, I think it's quite fair, but this is really beautiful. It's such a, this is such a pretty, elegant woman's fragrance. So that's my Woman in Gold. When it's cold, I always go back to my gourmands, and I love a good gourmand, especially when it's snowing. Like the weather we're having right now, it's icy, it's cold, it's windy, it's mainly raining now. So I always reach for those sweet gourmands. So the next fragrance is by Guerlain, and this is Mon Guerlain Intense, and this beautiful pretty bottle is filled with amazing vanilla. It's pungent, it's strong. We have lavender in this fragrance, and this is an intensified version of the original, and it's made so well. I mean, I just find this to be extremely gourmand. It's beautiful. If you like Mon Guerlain, and you really like that sweet note of vanilla, and then you also like lavender. To me, I really get the lavender from this bottle. I find it very pungent, and this is the first thing I smell. Like when I smell this version of Mon Guerlain, I can definitely detect lavender. Compared to the original version, I get very slight lavender, but usually I can't pick it up in Mon Guerlain, but this one, Intense, straight away you have lavender. Absolutely beautiful fragrance. It's warming, it's perfect for the cold seasons now, especially now that it's snowing, and I just find this incredibly sexy and cozy at the same time. So we have some rose, we have vanilla, we have iris, mandarin and bergamot, we have sandalwood in here, and then we also have some white musk and patchouli. And it's just such a dream. It's a beautiful fragrance, perfect to wear during the colder months. It's gorgeous on cold skin. So that's my Mon Guerlain Intense. So darlings, you know how much I love Tom Ford, so I have to mention this fragrance. Now think of a cold winter walk. You're going for a stroll, maybe by the lake or in the park. This fragrance just reminds me of elegance. It's stunning, it's sexy, it's a woman's fragrance. Think of a stroll with your love by the lake or in the park, and it's ever so cold. It was snowing in the morning and the snow is starting to settle. You've got some ice on the leaves and there's just a chill in the air, and you're going for this wonderful walk and you just smell of a beautiful, stunning rose with some carrot seeds and orange blossom. It's this fragrance here. This is my Soleil Neige. I love this fragrance. This is so beautiful. It's like a true feminine floral fragrance. We have white flowers in here. We've got some Turkish rose in this fragrance. It's so beautiful. Labdanum, benzoin and vanilla is in the base of this fragrance, and this just smells slightly fizzy, a little bit sparkling. It's very pretty. It's, I want to say fresh, but it's just a light floral and it's ever so beautiful on the skin. This lasts for so many hours, and I find this maybe with about 2 sprays, this is going to last up to 6 hours. It's beautiful. So that's my Soleil Neige. It's just perfect for the weather we're having here. You've got the snow, and this is like your winter sun. This is just beautiful. So that's my Soleil Neige. I do adore a good rose and oud combination, especially now we're in the winter. You've got the floral notes with the gourmands and the woody notes together, and I just love that, especially when you have rose and oud mixed with maybe some sandalwood or patchouli. I just love that combination. I mean, let me know how you feel about this whole oud and rose mix, because I am loving it right now. I mean, I think it's something I've always loved, but I'm loving it even more now because I've discovered so many new fragrances with these notes. But this fragrance I'm going to show you is a fragrance that you have seen me mention so many times here on this channel, and I know there's so many of you wonderful darlings out there who is a big fan of this fragrance also, and it's this one here. It's my Jo Malone, and this is my Velvet Rose and Oud. My goodness me, guys, this is a spicy rose. It's a plummy, juicy rose with oud and some spices, and for this time of year now, it's ideal. That spicy note of the clove in this fragrance, it really warms up. It's cozy, it's sexy, it's sweet. It's like the rose is this delicate, plummy red rose, or maybe a very dark rose. But you've got the sweetness in here, you've got the base of vanilla in this fragrance as well, and it's stunning. This is a Cologne Intense version by Jo Malone, and I have to say that this fragrance, I'm going to say every single time on my channel, but what I've noticed with this perfume, I can smell this anywhere. If someone is wearing this, I can detect it anywhere. I know immediately you're wearing Velvet Rose and Oud. It's a beautiful fragrance that radiates so well. Now this fragrance, to me, it just smells classy, sophisticated. This fragrance has the oriental notes. It's a beautiful dressed up rose fragrance, and oh, it's just amazing. I love this perfume. Now there are a few, so I think if you like Oud Satin Mood, then you should like this one. However, Oud Satin Mood is a little bit softer. It has more of a powdery note. It has the addition of violet in that blend, whereas this one is more spice. So this is spicy rose. But if you like Oud Satin Mood, then you should like this one as well. It's a little bit fresher, but in a spicy way, and oh, it's just so beautiful. I'm always excited to wear this fragrance, and now that it's snowing, I think this is just ideal. It's cozy, it's pretty, it almost smells like a red wine mixed with oud and rose. It's beautiful. I wanted to share a fragrance that I think is traditional and classic. It's a rose fragrance, and of course, my darlings, it's a Chanel fragrance. Now I have to mention Chanel because I do like my traditional fragrances in the sense that maybe something that's more classic, a little bit vintage. I do like vintage fragrances, and this one sort of reminds me of a vintage fragrance. And this fragrance is filled with rose and ylang-ylang and jasmine, and this is very sophisticated as well, very feminine, it's timeless. And this is much fresher than the original Chanel No. 5. This is the Au Premiere, and I love to wear something like this in the winter. I find this fragrance just to be so sophisticated, and on cool skin, especially now, it's ever so powdery with some citrus notes in there. It's so pretty. What I enjoy about Chanel No. 5 Au Premiere is the base notes. You get the vetiver, you have sandalwood in the base with the rose and the jasmine. And this to me is just your traditional classic fragrance. And I find this to be comforting and warming at the same time as it's elegant. And this is something that, to me, it would just warm up again any winter night. It will warm up snowy evening. And I just find this to be so beautiful. So that's my Chanel No. 5. I have a bonus fragrance for you now, and this is a fragrance by Maison Christian Dior. Now, like I said earlier, if you like gourmand fragrances during the winter, then this one is your typical gourmand that's just perfect for this season. And this is my Feve Délicieuse. My goodness me. How can I even describe to you guys how beautiful this fragrance is? Now, this fragrance is worth the hype because this is a true gourmand. This fragrance is like just spraying your skin with chocolate, praline, cacao, caramel, vanilla, tonka. It's amazing. We have some cherry in here. We have a little bit of mint only in the opening. And this is just such a gorgeous fragrance. I mean, wearing this fragrance now when it's cold outside, or you're cozied up, you know, on the sofa, this is just divine. It's a beautiful fragrance. And the reason why I think this perfume is so loved is because this smells like a molten cake. It smells beautiful. This perfume is well made. It's a stunning fragrance. Very, very high end. I mean, this is just an amazing fragrance to wear. So that's my Feve Délicieuse. So my darlings, that brings me to the end of this video. Those were my picks for you today. When it's snowing outside, these are the fragrances that I'm drawn to, and I wanted to share them with you. I would love to know what are your favorite fragrances, and if it is snowing at this time right now in your countries, let me know down below. Leave an emoji with a snowflake or a snowman or anything to represent the fact that it's snowing. So darlings, I would love to know what are your favorite fragrances that you enjoy wearing when it's cold outside, when it's icy and ever so cold. Let me know in the comment section down below. And my darlings, thank you so much for watching, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. And my darlings, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.